It's got pockets. I got a bunch of clay the other day. Power turns around. Check that out, y'all. For those of you who know anything about polymer clay, you know how expensive this stuff gets. And I scored big time. That was awesome. Look at all the colors. Yay. So yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking jewelry, but I don't know. Y'all tell me what you want me to do with that, because I really don't know what to do with it. Oh yeah, you guys didn't get to see it. I tucked it too far away. But I have a little mushroom on my head today. But yeah. So I haven't been live for a couple of days now. And just real quick, I don't know. I kind of want to make something live, like in the stream. I got these little cookie cutter things, and I'm thinking like for earring size. And then I found this other one, and I was like, well, what is that? Is that like a bee? What is that? And I was like, well, maybe it's like a butterfly wing. Like once it gets cut out, then I could make like butterfly wing, maybe earrings or something like that. Those are kind of big, but these are the only cookie cutters that I could find that were small enough. I did, however, find a little dinosaur imprint. I thought that was cute. And this one I've been using, which I need to clean off, for like the earrings and stuff. And that seems to be a really good size. So I'm looking for like sizes like that. Kind of, this is a double-sided cookie cutter. Oh, I call it a cookie cutter, but it's a cutter, okay, in any sense of the form, right? And then I've got like ridiculous amount of craft stuff. I actually got these yesterday. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but it's little seashell sequins. I thought that was cool. A glitter bomb. And I found these little glitters too, which that's from the Dollar General, but still. And when I made the cherry earrings for Jeff's birthday, like the back of them got slightly like burnt, but it made it darker. I don't know. So I think it came out cute. I might actually wear those today. So, you know, and I didn't even know anything about working with this type of material, so I just kind of went with it. And I think that's how most people need to be nowadays, is like, you know, don't let your fear of failure stop you from doing the things that you want to try to do, because you're already stopping yourself. You know what I mean? So just because you fail, that's okay. It's part of the process. And then I found these like super cute little, gosh, the lighting in here is horrible, Barbie boots, but I was wanting to make them into like earrings or something, like stylish, you know what I mean? I know most of you are like, what? But yeah, you know. Then I've got these little, like, they're supposed to be curtain rod things, like to hang up your curtains, but I want to make these into earrings too. So I'm trying to I want you guys to keep using your imagination no matter how old you are, okay? Keep using your imagination, keep creating new things. I've got these little plastic, they're like shots toppers for, I don't know, whatever. But they actually came with like little alcohol bottles, but I didn't want the alcohol bottles. I just wanted the hats. So I'll probably be designing something with those. I got these cute little sneakers too. This reminded me of like that little thing that we used to do back in the day where we would take the shoes and we'd put them on our fingers and then we'd like pretend walk with them. Or like the little skateboard things. I think I got my shoes on the wrong feet, but you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? So, anyway, my 15 seconds of fame with that little foot thing. And then I made these, which are really super cute. I do need to get hooks on them, but I don't know if you can see that because my camera is horrible. But it's a bunch of roses. So, yeah, I thought that was really cool. It's kind of like, I also wanted to make these into wreaths for like Christmas time. Thought that'd be kind of cool. I also made this, which didn't come out the way that I thought it would, but it's okay. I actually got these Light Bright little plugs. A ton of them, right? And so I made jewelry. You can actually see the light through it. And I was thinking about doing some kind of like, you know, those little battery light things behind it. I thought that would be kind of cool. So that's an invite for y'all to try to make something like this, where it's kind of see-through. Now, mind you, polymer clay usually it'll keep its hold for a little bit, but like it does shrink a little bit. So like this is brick hard, but it dried unevenly. Mind you, I'm an amateur, but I thought this was such a really cool concept for the Light Bright, especially for those of you who grew up in like the 80s, 90s, you know, that was like our life. So, but yeah, I thought that was kind of cool to have like some kind of, like a mini Light Bright kind of vibe. I don't know. It was very like, what's the word I'm looking for? It kind of reminds me of like a panel for like some kind of equipment a little bit because it's so big, and then the plugs are huge. I actually was thinking about trying to find like the mini nightlight or Light Brights, the mini ones that are like half this size. And then I also found out that you can melt these. These are remeltable. So for those of you who are familiar with like plastic melting and making jewelry from recycled plastic or something like that, or like older products, you can actually melt these into new things. So I think there's like you can Google what temperature it is and stuff like that. I think it's like a lower temperature, like 275, maybe for like 15 minutes or something like that. Same concept as like the clay itself. I would use either like a silicone mat, like, you know what I'm talking about? Like the ones that go in the oven. I'm thinking of a specific one and I can't think of the name of it right now, but it's got like some kind of material in it that does not let anything stick to it. So you can actually melt plastic in it. You could use like, I guess you could use like aluminum foil lined cookie sheet. But remember, this stuff's going to be like lava. Okay. So, just be careful. Safety first, always. But yeah, I would look it up first before I would try to do it. But yeah, you can do it. So I thought that was super cool. And the first one broke because I made the holes too small and I tried to like force the peg in there. And so it broke. Hey, hope y'all are having a good July 31st, whatever day it is. It's Thursday, so today's Territory Thursday for the unschooling part of it. But I just wanted to show you guys some of the little crafts and stuff that I had and like some of the things that I had and wanted to share a little bit, you know, because we don't always see parts of, you know, we see people, right? Every single day we see people, but we never actually know anything about them. And they could have a lot more interests that are similar to ours than we realize, but because of the fact of fear, it stops us from being able to communicate with people, as well as, you know, being open-minded to try new things, or, you know, like say if you're, you know, not in the mood to do this, whatever it might be, and actually like forcing yourself to do it sometimes actually ends up being something way better than you ever could have had before. And I'm not saying to force yourself into doing stuff, but Sometimes it's good to go outside of your comfort zone and to try new things. And like I said, I want you guys to keep using your imagination as much as possible, especially in this AI era. So that's the one thing that sets us apart as human beings is our individuality. So I actually came up with an idea for one of these. These are beads, but I was actually going to use them as eyes in a clay project. One of the things that my fiance likes is something called a blue dragon, and I was thinking about making him a small blue dragon, maybe that holds like incense or something, because that's what we do. We burn incense a lot. And I was thinking about using these as the eyes. And they're like all super pretty blue and white and a little bit of brown. So I figured if I set them in a certain way, maybe they would show all three colors, so this way when it's like moving around, it kind of looks like it's looking at something. I was thinking about putting like a marker dot on it or whatever for the pupil or whatever, but it's concept. I also have these really super, you can get these at the dollar store, by the way. These really cute little tiny jars. I don't know what it is about jars. I have like a ton of them. These little jars with like sparkles. I say sparkles, they're glitter. And I've got this. This was actually in the food aisle at Walmart. It's gold. It's metallic flakes. And you can use this in polymer. You can use this in food. You can use this on paintings. I've used it on so much stuff. And it was in the food aisle. Same thing with food coloring. I use food coloring for paint. So don't think that you have to like spend a ton of money on stuff. You don't have to. For example, I painted this with food coloring. You can kind of see through it, and it's got like this really cool crackle look to it. But yeah, I painted that with food coloring. So if you're into that, kudos. So yeah, you don't have to have a whole lot of money to do stuff. Most of the time, you can either use, stuff that you have laying around or whatever, or stuff that you find. Like, for example, I found this screen print confetti, which is plastic, by the way. And you melt it to stuff like clothes or, like, say, a tablecloth or, I guess it would pretty much be anything that plastic would melt to. Okay? Let's see, what else? Okay, so that's that one drawer. I also have this like little mini container of the clays when I've created clay colors in smaller batches. So like, say for example, like that's all the white I have left. But these are alternate colors that I've created from the clay. And like some of them still have like some marbling in it. And so I'll probably keep, like, say, for example, this one's got marbling in it. I may just flatten that and this or make it the same as it is right now and just add it to jewelry or to, like, a project or something like that. So, yeah, don't be afraid to try new things, like I said. And even if it seems like, oh, well, I'm not going to be good at that. Well, so what? Be the worst one at it. Gotta be good at something, right? So, this one was kind of interesting. I found this in the bins. We have Goodwill bins near us. So, I found this in the bins, and I don't know what it is. It's like, okay, so it's buttons, right? And gosh, my camera sucks. But it's got these little pin things. I don't know if you can see that or not. I'm trying to turn it so this way you guys can see it. It's not working. Anyway, maybe if I put it on the black. Hold on. Let me turn this around. Okay. Okay. So, okay, yeah, you could definitely see it now. See the little pin things in there? And then there's like these little caps. I don't know if that's like, are you supposed to push the pin through the cap? Or what is that? And then like we got broken buttons in here. Like, what? I don't know what this is for. I'm sure I'll probably use it for something, but I'm just saying, like, whatever. So yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, I wanted to put these in real quick. So yeah, and I literally made these earrings like while I was getting ready to go out with Jeff for his birthday. So it doesn't take long. Maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes at the most. So like, and it, money wise, the jewelry pieces that I got, now mind you, I know that there are many, many, many more out there that are way better than what I'm offering. But, oh, that one needed cleaned. Sorry. But like the earring pieces I got at Dollar Tree. The clay you can get at Dollar Tree. So it's not terribly expensive. It's just doing it, right? So, yeah, I literally made these earrings in like 15 minutes before we got ready to go out. I put them in the oven, baked them, and then I put them in the freezer because we were in a hurry. and luckily I remembered to grab them before we left because then I wore them. But I used, where is this thing? Okay. So in the dollar store or whatever, you can get these little crafter things. And they come with hooks, and I think I dumped out all the hooks on the one side. And these pins, right? Oh, as I'm dropping one. They come with these long pin things, right? Well, what I did was I put one cherry on the end of the pin, and then I bent it, because these are really easy to bend. I bent it like that, and then I put the other one on the other side, and I baked it like that. So that way they would kind of stay kind of close together, how cherries kind of look, right? And then I just hooked this piece, the earring loop. I kind of bent it open. They do have like little circles and stuff that you could use. But I just kind of bent it open a little bit because it was already hooked like this and both ends were already covered because I forgot to put this piece on here. So I bent the little circle loop thing and I put it around it, and that's what held it. They say not to bake your hooks with your jewelry because it can tarnish it, so it won't make your jewelry look very nice. But yeah, that's what I did. I just took the little rod that's in there in the thing and I bent it just like that so that way it would stay in there. And like you could put anything pretty much on there. I could put a purse on there if I wanted to. Like, you know what I'm saying? So just be creative with it. Use your imagination, like I said. And it's not expensive. And it doesn't take up a lot of time. It's just something to do, right? And then I've also got these like little like nail gem things too that I use. And those are kind of cool. You can find a bunch of different stuff everywhere. I've just been collecting things as I go. So I also found this at the bins yesterday. Oh gosh, this lighting. I don't know if you can see that, but it's like ethereal string. It's green and gold and really super shiny. I mean, you probably can't see the shine in this camera specifically. But yeah. I thought that was really cool too, especially if it's on like darker material. That's going to look awesome. You can't really see how shiny it is, but it's got like gold and yellow and green. So yeah, that was the extent of my haul. Oh yeah, and I think I showed this one before too. This one actually reminds me of Ursula's seashell that she held the Little Mermaid's voice in. It's got a little hole in the back of it, so I might actually make it into a necklace at some point. I just don't know how I'm going to do that. It kind of looks like a candle holder, like one of those miniature candles, because it's so tiny. And then I also found out that I can wear it as jewelry. So, fashion statement for those, especially this year, has been like really big for seashell jewelry, or ocean themed jewelry, like with chains and stuff like that. So, it might be a new thing. Who knows? So if you have a seashell that looks like that, if you just core out a hole on the other side for your finger to be able to fit through that one little spot, then now you got jewelry. Imagine getting hit with that. Slice your finger in half. What are you talking about? Anyway, no violence. Okay. So, but yeah. And I must ask you a question. I also got these. This was at Big Lots, believe it or not. It's for those of you who like oil warmers. This one smells really good. It says mulberry, but it smells like dark cherry, and it's only $1.99. And you get this big bottle, and it's so strong. It literally smells like I said. It says mulberry, but it smells like, you know, the darker cherry kind of candle at like Walmart. Like the wild cherry candle at Walmart. That's what this smells like. It doesn't smell like mulberry. It smells like cherry. So, anyway, hope y'all are having a good day. Hey. Wow, it's telling me to invite a bunch of people. Y'all is crazy. There's so many people in here. Oh my gosh, let me scroll back up. I know somebody said hi. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I know somebody said hi, just not showing it. Oh, Wesley, England. There we go. Sam, Dixie. Went around exclamation. That's funny. Wayne Cross, Dan Kubota. Hey. Benton Broussard. Let me go through the name, sorry. A freak to call. Dixie Norman. Dixie. Let's just leave it at that. Sam Dub, Kelly, Crazy, Texerd, Andy, user 5926, David Hill, Amanda L. Scott, I can't say your name, Wesley Hay, Tanner, Harley, Charles, Jenny, Rebecca, Lisa, Big Boy, Cole, Nathan, Sandy, Ribbit, Mark, Rick, Danger Putty, New York, Butch, Scott, Jeffrey, Dawn, Jeff, another Jeffrey, Christopher. You know, I didn't even know that many Jeffreys until I met Jeff. Now everybody's named Jeffrey. It's funny. Artful, Steven, Bruce, Charlie, George, Cassidy. Okay, now I've called everybody's names. So yeah. Thank you for the likes. Y'all are awesome. So today, like I said, is Territory Thursday, and I'm not going to stay live for a while right now. I probably will leave and come back. But I did want to lightly touch on some things. So I am going to go ahead and give you guys a full walkthrough for today. Just to kind of give you an update on progress. Baby, I'm going to go outside, okay? Babe, I'm going outside, okay? So yeah. Alright, so one thing that I've been kind of like steadily working on. Oh, the neighbors are outside. That's cool. They're so awesome. Hold on, let me turn this around again. I have this flower. My neighbors gave me flowers. And because like they're super aesthetic and their whole yard is really awesome. I'm not going to be super creepy and show you, but you know, there you have it. And so they gave me these flowers, and I took this one stem that had a bud on it, and I just planted it in the little soil thing that I had. But I forgot that it had seeds in it. Like, this thing has been outside for like months, right? Thank you for the likes. And it's got strawberries growing in it. Like, that's what this was. See, it's even cracked. It's been outside so long. And I just started watering this, and then all of these popped up. So I've been kind of just leaving it outside with my little cookie monster dude. Don't mind my... Say hello to... That's Mabel. She big fat kitty. She's the fluffiest kitty ever. Yes, she is. And she's like, I'm sleeping in the sun. And then that's Zoe, who always wants to go in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Get it. Where'd he go? Oh, she caught her a salamander. So, here's the basil. Got a ton of basil. There's the mint. And marigolds. Get it, kitty? Got the marigolds. I'm out later in the day than I normally would be, so there's not that many bees out today. The carrots are getting pretty big. Mesclun. I gotta deflower this. Hold on. My mustards are like over and done by these tomatoes. I'm so done with tomatoes right now. This whole entire archway that I had built completely collapsed, and it's really aggravating. But I have a shit ton of tomatoes, so if y'all want some tomatoes, let me know. I've been making sauce and stuff too. This was radishes, but I think the bugs got it. Plus it went to flour. More mint, rosemary, okra. I wonder if that one, because one day it got super, super hot out here, and I don't know if the okra died. Oh, no, it didn't. Okay, good. Yay! The okra didn't die. There it is. Little okra dude. Then this is Japanese radish. It's tubular. Hello. Hi. And beans. What? You want to say hi? Where'd he go? Go find it. More maters. And then I've got a dying, I don't even know if that's broccoli or cauliflower. All of these are getting like really bad now. I also need to deadhead the fennel. Yeah. And unfortunately, y'all, as soon as I got that patty pan growing and the squash growing, it got invaded by bugs as well as aphids really, really badly. I do not use pesticides, but this little bugger's been noshing away. And it's trying to grow out away from the base because the base is completely, like I said, it's completely covered in aphids. Look at that. That's aphids. They're all over everything. And see these little eggs? It's either that or wheel bugs, I don't know. So, hold up. And my cucumbers died. I don't know what I did. The raccoons came and ate all of the corn and stuff. And then this is what happened to my cucumbers. It just basically just died. Hello, Humble Bumble. How are you on this fine day? Say good morning. This is your 15 minutes of fame. Da, 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 da. Hello. You're just chilling, aren't you? Here I am, getting a close-up of you like a paparazzi. So, yeah. So, there's that. And then all the ridiculous amount of tomatoes yet again. I did go through and fertilize them last night, but because I don't have them tied up, they're just rotting on the ground. So, I'm very disappointed in myself by not tying those up sooner. So, it's my own damn fault. But let me see if I got any peppers. All right, so we got one pepper coming. There's a jalapeno. Got some flowers. Oh, there's another jalapeno. More peppers. And I've been using these in the sauce. Oh, we got a bunch of flowers there. That's good. And then, see, whenever the bugs get to the tomatoes and stuff, I'll toss them back. Because A, it fertilizes, and B, it replants. So, and this one, you see how it slid back down on itself?
But I promise you, I got like the best tomatoes from that one. And I do need to like weed eat like crazy around the base of these and tie these up again, and they'll start to do better. But, and I've got to cut this one back. This one's just like redonkulous. Is that even a word? As well as harvest. I need to come in here and harvest because the bugs are already starting to get to the plant. Here's some more peppers. These got huge. And I don't know why they didn't produce before now. It's like the plant itself got huge, but they didn't produce anything yet. So these are going to be red, yellow, and green peppers. Not spicy, the sweet kind. This is a whirligig tree. I planted a whirligig in the corner of my pot here, and I grew a tree. So, Arbor Day, yay. And my roses. I need to cut them back too. I haven't been out here in so long. I need to do that today. So yeah, there's my garden. And I don't know. That's all I've got. So. And then, like I said, here's the, hold on. Here is the patty pan. Hold on. Flip the camera around. Sorry, I know I'm flipping the camera back and forth a lot. Here's patty pan. This is a lot like a squash. It's just shaped like a UFO, and it's super cool looking. But yeah, it's just like yellow squash or like summer squash or whatever. It's got a lot more moisture in it than regular squash does. My cucumbers, these are the only ones I was able to salvage. And then Jeff said, well, I don't think you have any big tomatoes. Well, guess what? Yes, I do. And I've already made, and I know you guys are going to laugh at this, but I reused my jars. So, yep. That's the sauce I made yesterday. All I did was use the tomatoes, some of the basil, sausage, Italian sausage, onions, garlic, salt, pepper, and some of my green peppers. And that's literally it. That's all I did. I cut up like so many freaking tomatoes yesterday. So for those of you who did get to see the bin, that's how many tomatoes I used yesterday. And no, it's not those little cherry tomatoes. They were huge tomatoes, and it was completely filled like over. And I used a pot and just cut them all up into quarters. I didn't even take the skins off of them. Because what I do is once it's all cooked down and it's soft, I put everything in a blender. And that's what makes this texture so much different. And it also blends the flavors together better. So this way, once it gets refrigerated and sits in the refrigerator, or it gets put into the sauce, then it has more moisture in it. The flavors are more even, as well as like more blended together. And then have you ever had pizza the next day? You know how good that is? It's the same thing as sauce. When you have sauce next day or like pasta next day, it's like way better than the first day. So, and we went grocery shopping. Yas. It's always fun to have a full fridge for once. So yeah. And then I did not get any corn, so I went and bought corn. I put these in the oven just like this. For those of you who've ever cooked corn, usually you'll either boil it or do something like that. I literally put it on 350 and stick these frickers in here just like this. Hair and all, I don't care. Stalk, put the whole thing in there, right? Just kind of like, well, right now I got a bunch of stuff in here, but just lay it on the rack, you know, where you can close the door naturally. Just lay it on the rack like that and bake it. I'd say until the outside gets brown. I don't have a specific time, but I think that once the outside is pretty brown, not on fire, but brown, then it's good. You got to take it out and let it cool naturally. Use, gloves or whatever, because it does get hot, especially when you go to open the peel. It's just like anything else, it's hot on the inside rather than the outside sometimes. So yeah, I just do that, and it makes it so much sweeter and like just more juicier. and it tenderizes like the meat that's inside it. So it makes it overall better. That's what I do. I also found this, which is super cute. Like I said, I did have this little, I don't know if you guys can see it or not, little mushroom clip. But then I got a dinosaur and a raccoon and squirrels and owls and a little jar full of lightning bugs. More squirrels, more lightning bugs, and a bee. I found that at the bins too, and I thought those were so cute. Especially the little dinosaur one, that one was super cute too. I like that one. It's too bad there's only one, but yeah, I like that. And then we got these huge, oh, you can't see it, seashell pillows. I got one of those, and I've already had this one because it was on my little vanity thing. My little chair, my little fluffy slippers, my vanity, which I cleaned up the other day, so y'all would be so proud of me. I'm in the process of rearranging everything, so pray for me. Because it's a lot. So, y'all ever clean your rooms anymore? I don't know. People do that still. So, Territory Thursday. Oh, I forgot to show you guys the bin. It's okay. It's just manure. You guys don't want to see that shit. So, let's see. Oh, we have this. I just knocked them all over on the ground. I can't believe I just did that. One of those. If you guys don't know what this is, if you guys are into incense, hold on, maybe I'll be able to show you. It might be calm enough in here. See if I can find that bag that just fell. Hold up. Chaos ensues. All right. So, oh, that one's not it. It's the red one. The blue one that I liked didn't have. There it is. Okay. So this is called Dragon's Blood. You can get it at Walmart. Sorry, y'all. Shaking it up a little bit. And they have these little incense, but they have a hole in the bottom. So when you put it on top, right? Minus the dirt, dust and dirt. When you put it on top, it comes down. Where is it at? Comes down on the bottom of it, and then it goes throughout the whole rest of the thing like water. So I'm going to try to show you guys how this works real quick if I can get it to work. I don't know if it's going to work or not. I also found this little octopus thing for Jeff. I thought that was super cute too. Hold on, I'm going to have to turn this around. Again. I'm flipping the camera back and forth so many times. I don't know how long this is going to take to work, by the way, but I am going to try to get it to go pretty good. I hope it works. Like, pretty quickly. I might have to arrange. Yeah, I feel like you have to kind of like line it up a little bit so that way it pulls it. I may have done it wrong. I don't know. I feel like thank you so much for the likes. You guys are so awesome. I wish it was like $1 for a like. Like that would be awesome. Even more. Hold on. Time to smoke the incense, right? Come on now, don't make a liar out of me. Really? Why isn't it working? Now it's aggravating me. I feel like it should have already like done it by now. Maybe I need to light it more or something. I don't know. It worked the other day. It worked just fine the other day. I mean, it's already lit. Maybe if I do more of it. Get it really going. Nope. Come on, man. That's messed up. Now I won't even do it. It's completely coming out the top. I kind of want to turn it upside down. I am so impatient. I'm like the #1 road rage. Whatever. Either way, it's cute. Damn, that makes me mad now. But yeah, it's supposed to go down inside of here like water, and it just floats down. But evidently it's not doing it right now. So anyway, I guess not. Sorry, y'all. Thank you again for the likes. It's not doing it at all. What? It's literally just coming out the top. I mean, it is pretty. That's one thing about smoke. You have a little forest one? That's awesome. I don't know what it is about incense. Like, Jeff and I love incense. It's probably why everything's so dusty all the time. I kind of wanted to do a stream where it was just smoke. Like, just watching the smoke waft up. Feels like spiritual realm kind of vibe, you know what I mean? And you can see where all the airflow is. And if you ever want to find out where any of the cracks in your windows, or like if you have like a draft in your house somewhere, if you ever want to find it out, just put incense up. It'll tell you exactly which way the wind's blowing. But yeah, oh well. If it starts to do it, I'll come back to it. Watch, now that I'm away from it, it'll start to do it. Maybe it's just all my talking. Or maybe it's too close to the vent. Actually, I just thought of that. Oh, it is doing it. Hold on. It's starting to do it. Maybe I walked over here too fast. You gotta be really calm with it. See? It's like water. It's so freaking cool. I have no patience, y'all. Does it go to the bottom? I need to stop breathing. Yeah, there's too much airflow. Here, let me bring it over to my desk. There's less airflow over there. Or I thought there was less airflow. Dang, there's more airflow over here than there was over there. What? All right, let's try this right here. This seems a little bit more. Plus, you can see it. Dang, there's like a lot of airflow in here today. What is going on? All right, I feel like here's a pretty... Nope. Oh, really? If I put a book in the way. I don't know why I feel like very compelled to show you guys this today, and it's not working. Dang. Anyway, all right. Well, enough of that. That's a bummer if I ever did see one. But, alright, well, I'm just going to leave that here. At least it's out of the way. I'm waiting to see if it's going to go all the way to the bottom. Yay! It did it! So we are now officially watching a smoke stream. There you go. There's some calming moments for you while my hand is shaking like crazy. But that's what it's supposed to do. There we go. I finally did it. I was so impatient. But it's supposed to look like water. I thought that was so cool. But yeah. Yay! Thank you for liking the live. I'm starting to learn like little bits more and more about this app, like the more I use it. I'm still trying to figure out how to get it monetized. So if y'all know how to do that, please help me. I've already got it to where it's a business account, and I think I made a mistake by doing that. But I did get perks for having a business account before all the social media change happened with TikTok, right? So I ran it as a business account, but now evidently if you have a private account, you get paid more. I guess I have to start a new TikTok, right? And then you end up getting blocked because they think that you're an AI. You know what I'm saying? Like, so your thing gets shut down or demonetized because they think you're an AI. So yeah, be careful with that for those of you out there. Thank you, Dan. Wow, 4 points. Oh my gosh. I bet your fingers are tired. You know what I just seen on the TikTok shop thing? They have this little clip that goes on the side of your phone, and it literally sends a finger pulse to the screen so you can continue to do this. But yeah, you can choose how many likes you give per screen, per swipe. I thought that was really interesting, especially since, you know, I'm sitting here going, do-do-do-do-do-do-do, you know what I mean? Which I'm sure Dan is doing the same thing. Thank you. So I just basically go like this, like two finger, you know what I mean? And it gives more hearts. I didn't know that you can give more than one heart for like a video or for like a live stream or whatever, right? So I'm just sitting here clicking like. If you go back through all my likes, you'll see I watch way too much tarot. So, but yeah. But yeah, they have like a bunch of stuff in there. And I feel like now, more so than ever, then we're all basically being forced to do jobs that we didn't like apply for. You know what I mean? So at least social media wise, make us work for it. You know what I mean? So. Oh, you can't see it. But, okay. And then plus I made breakfast this morning. I think I did a TikTok video, not a live, a video. I'm making breakfast this morning, so. Today is Territory Thursday. Let me get through to the calendar here. I've missed Tuesday, Wednesday. I think I was live Monday. Okay, Thursday is the Hanged Man. It's a time for pausing before making a decision. Today is a good day to practice the pause, to have patience, right? What are we pausing for, real quick? What are we pausing for? What's coming in that we need to pause for? What do we need to work on? What's the pause for? Why did we get the hangman? Ooh. Okay. Not taking the ones that flip over, just the ones that I choose. So why did we get the hangman for today? To practice pause. 3 cards. Confirmation. 6 of Wands. 7 of Swords upside down or reversed. 9 of Swords upright, and Queen of Pentacles. With an overall of 6 of Wands. So we'll look it up real quick. Just because I don't know the definitions of all the cards. 7 of Swords reversed. Often signifies a shift towards honesty and a potential for healing after a period of deception or dishonesty. It may indicate that someone is ready to confess, make amends, or that external forces of deception will be confronted. This reversal can also point to a need to change your approach or tactics, suggesting a moving away from cunning and tricky towards collaboration and honesty. Coming clean, rebuilding trust, confronting deception. Make sure that you're aware that there may be extreme manipulation, blocked honesty, and avoiding responsibility at this time. In guidance, it suggests a need to change your approach, embrace honesty, and potentially face the consequences of past actions, particularly those involving deception or dishonesty. Remember, everything that was built on lies from the past or from any kind of falseness is going to start to deteriorate now. It's going to fall apart. You're going to notice parts of your life that are just going to fall apart because of the fact that it was built on falseness. Consequences of deceit. Potential for exposure, consequences for past actions involving dishonesty or trickery, confessions and making amends, change of heart, reassessing tactics. Like I said, today is a good day to really take that pause and pay attention to your 6-foot bubble of the people that are around you. 9 of Swords upright. You may be losing sleep, have anxiety, worry, or sleepless nights. Grappling with intense mental and emotional turmoil, often related to fear, guilt, or self-doubt. While this card indicates a difficult period, it also emphasizes the importance of facing these fears and seeking support for healing. Like I said, right now is a good time for introspection, to practicing a pause before reaction, and also really being honest with yourself. You know, if you're experiencing depression, anxiety, sleepless nights, maybe you're possibly facing inner demons, seek support. You know, even if it's just reading something, even if it's just trying a new way of dealing with something, but it does offer the potential for healing. So it serves as a reminder to acknowledge and address inner turmoil while also recognizing the potential for overcoming these challenges and finding peace. So yes, practice the pause, learn more about yourself, learn more about your surroundings, and be very aware of all angles. Queen of Pentacles upright. Excuse me. Embodies nurturing, practicality, and material abundance. Sorry, I didn't show the cards. She represents a grounded, responsible individual focused on creating a stable and secure environment. This card suggests a time for focusing on self-care, managing resources wisely, and appreciating the simple joys of life. This is what you're being called to do today. Okay? Nurturing and practicality, material abundance and security, grounding in earthly wisdom, self-care and balance, generosity and sharing, and potential for healing again. So now is a time for healing. You know, I think the world really does need to start healing or learning how to cope with things. 6 of Wands upright. The overall signifies triumph, success, and public recognition. Some of you may end up becoming viral, and not just in a sense of virality, like some of you may get pregnant. Some of you, so practice that pause, you know what I mean? Some of you may get public recognition for something. Now remember, if it's not built on a solid foundation, it will fail, and you will get the negative consequences of the public recognition for something that you lied about, or something that is from the past that you need to, it's being brought to your attention so this way you can work on it, okay? If something bad happens in your life today, understand that it's being brought to you so this way you can pay attention to it and be aware of it, so you can start to take those little baby steps towards your final destination of, say, for example, it's healing an old wound or changing a behavior or a response to something. Maybe it's your perspective that needs changed. But just understand that whatever happens today, or anything that's brought to the forefront to you today and made aware of for you, is ultimately for your higher good. It's meant to bring it into the forefront so this way you can start working on it. And yes, it may seem like really strong. You know what I'm saying? So, hold on, I gotta do this little freaking puzzle thing real quick. Stupid puzzle piece that makes, anyway, I don't know why it says I'm inactive. I've got like all these people watching. So, hey Blake, hey Sarah, Dan the Kubota man, Kubota. Exis, oh, that's a cool name. So yeah, successful outcome after a period of effort and perseverance, public recognition, confidence and pride, leadership potential, and sharing success. Remember that when you are blessed to bless others, and those who bless you will be blessed. Okay? So there is a change that's coming, but it's over a period of time. And it may seem sudden when it comes through, like all of a sudden, but it was in the process, in the background happening, and you may not have been aware of it, okay? So understand that there may be people in the background, trying to sabotage you, but there's more people in the background that are trying to support you than the ones that are trying to sabotage you. And it's going to be slow going, but I really need you guys to focus. Even if you have a lot of eyes on you, I really need you to take this period of pause while you're pulling back that arrow to focus on your goal, or what you're aiming at, right? Your long term, what your meaning is, what your purpose in life is, who you are as a person in this world. And like I said, anytime that you have a period of pause, it's because you're being held back because your aim hasn't been, it's been kind of all over the place, right? So you need to focus. Like I said, even if there's a bunch of eyes on you, see all the different eyes in the background? Even if there's a bunch of eyes on you and they're all looking down on you, like some of them are looking down, some of them are looking up, some people look up to you, but everybody is watching you. Everything and everyone around you is watching you right now. And I know that kind of like leads into the whole anxiety, paranoia kind of vibe, but it's for a reason. It's the universe's way of being able to explain to you that you're on the right path. There's just some things that you need to work out, okay? Get your little sheep in order, which you're not doing right now. You're kind of flopping around all over the place. And start to really focus on what it is that you want, because you will succeed. Overcoming everything, you will succeed in this. You just have to practice that pause in that moment. So this way you can fully absorb the entirety of the information that's being brought to you when it does come. Because like I said, Queen of Pentacles, I mean, you don't have much higher than that to go for abundance, like complete satisfaction and abundance. Queen of Pentacles is really up there. So she's really happy. She's secure. She's, she's beautiful. And she's just happy in her own essence. See how like she's just chilling, vibing in the nature? Yeah, that's just how she is. She's just like, I got this.
I got this, right? And that's how you should feel, is like, no matter what comes towards you, whatever struggles that you're going through, you've got this. You've already been there. You know what pain is. Yeah, I mean, and even if it feels like I said, if it comes out of nowhere, I mean, there's going to be some kind of truths coming to the forefront because that's the moon. And the moon signifies like an illusion, a truth being revealed, utilizing your intuition. Well, that's the towers. Anyway, but yeah, it's like the moon is like illuminating what is in the darkness, right? So it's bringing to the forefront any information that may have been hidden before, or maybe it was something that you hid before that is now coming to the forefront and getting recognized. Like I said, karma and dharma cycle back through every single instance of everything that you do all throughout your entire life, right? It's just at different points in time during your timeline. So, Page of Pentacles reversed. That's new. Hold on. Page of Pentacles reversed. Lack of focus, procrastination, and missed opportunities due to lack of motivation or tendency to jump from one idea to the next. Like I said, indicates a loss of passion for a project or goal, or need to reignite that spark. So lack of focus is what's holding you back. Okay, so before the death card, anything that needed to be changed before the death card was your lack of focus, allowing certain people that are negative into your space. Like I said, not paying attention. You need to focus and stop procrastinating because you're missing opportunities because of this. Okay, and I know that it's a lot of like spray and pray right now, and everyone's just kind of like, all over the place. We don't know what the future holds. We don't know what the future holds. It's fear, right? We're completely consumed in this fear mindset of lack of knowledge of the future, but that's where the void is. And that's where all creation comes from, is the void of the lack of knowledge, right? So we get a chance to learn what we want, wherever we're focusing on, right? To go forward, to move forward. So, and remember, you're going to be able to be successful, and no matter what it is that's coming up against you. You're literally the griffin. I think that says griffin. That's a basilisk. Basilisk. So, you're going to be able to shine a light on like a lot of like the negative thoughts that you had in your mind, and like say maybe your behaviors or actions or maybe things that you've done in the past that really weighed heavy on you, or maybe like you didn't even realize that your past was affecting your current state of mind. So it was actually continuing to infect your life in ways that you may not even have realized because of the fact that you were blind to it, because that's all you knew, right? So don't be afraid of the future. We don't know what's there, but we can create it, right? We can create our own future. And we have the ability to create anything, anywhere. Doesn't matter what it is. So don't be afraid of the future. Like I said, allow it to take that moment of pause to really reassess yourself, how you feel, your surroundings, the people around you, because all these things interact with each other, right? And so, sometimes like they say, you got to disappear for a little while and pop back up on them brand new. Sometimes you do have to self-isolate for a little while and just focus on your work and get your bills right and, get yourself right. Start taking better care of yourself. Start learning new ways of dealing with, okay, well, my reaction to this, and this is the reason why people don't like me, so maybe this is something I need to change about myself. Okay, well, another person will say to you, well, it doesn't matter what other people think. It's what you think, which is true. Because ultimately, all of your external world comes from your own mind. So how you think about yourself is how the rest of the world's going to see you. Because you're a direct reflection of self to the world. So if you think highly of yourself, that's how the world's going to see you. Now, don't get me wrong. You're going to have haters. You're going to have people that are going to see your light, and they're going to be like, you know what I mean? But fuck them haters. They're lessons too. They're teaching you exactly what you need to continue to be, is more of yourself, your authentic self. And they hate that shit. So
So be more of it. You know, be the rebellion in the grout. Rebellion in the grout. Removal and replacement. Ceiling fixture. Yeah. Remove people out of your life, places, things out of your life that are horrible, that are making you feel bad, and replace it with things that make you happy. Even if it's small things. Okay? Like I said, it's the little shit that means the most. It really is. And when you start interjecting more positive things into your life, things that you enjoy, yes, you're going to start bringing up old battle wounds from the past. It's going to happen. Perfect example, yesterday, Jeff and I went to the water, the splash pad in town, and we were going there to have a really wonderful time. I was totally fine when I first started. All of a sudden, I got overwhelmed, and I started crying in public, which I've never done before. And I mean, like, crying. And there was a lot of people there. And so it was really like an eye-opening moment for me to realize that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Get through it. Feel it, right? Feel it in the moment when it comes. And it's going to look crazy to a lot of other people, but you need to go through those things. You need to go through those emotions. You need to feel those emotions when they happen completely. And then just give it some time. Practice the pause and let it flow through you. Because if you don't and you try to suppress it, it's going to come out in other ways in other areas of your life. Okay? So maybe you'll start being snappy to people. Maybe you won't talk to people anymore. Maybe you'll just start crying uncontrollably and you won't even know why. Maybe you'll snap at somebody and you're not normally like that. You know, it comes out in other ways. So you have to feel it and flow through it when it happens. And like I said, I know it's going to seem crazy to a lot of people, and even people who knew you, they're going to wonder what's going on. Because you're going through an evolution in your own personal evolution. Especially when you start to heal. It'll start to show more in different areas of your life. Okay? So it's going to feel like you're losing everything. It's going to feel like the life that you knew is no longer, it's almost like an identity crisis. Because everything that you knew in the past, maybe your reactions were negative. Maybe your thought processes were negative. And now that you're starting to think a little bit more positively, even if you're forcing yourself to do this, right? Eating better, starting to work out more, starting to... And I mean just like walking, okay? Walk from one end of your house to the other if you have to. You know what I'm saying? So, walk in a circle in your living room. I don't know, something. But the movement is the point. More hydration, more movement. I'm trying to think of some other things that you could do. Or sometimes you can even just, like I said, practice the pause and like meditation. And I personally have not worked on that. And I know it's really hard to do, especially when your mind is doing like 50 million different things and you feel this pull that has to happen right now, because we're constantly in this instant gratification mindset now, especially where electronics and the integration of AI and stuff like that, as well as like social media. And, we have this certain personal requirement that we've put into our mind somewhere that we have to be something, right? We have to be some kind of way, or look some kind of way, or be some kind of thing for other people to like us. And like I was saying earlier, like, okay, well, maybe my reaction to the world is because of blah, blah, blah from my past, but the world doesn't deserve that. The world doesn't deserve the repeat in history of the negative effects that happened to you when you were younger, right? The world needs love. You need love. Everybody deserves love, even if it's just self-love. So yeah, anyway, enough of my little rave there. But, so give each other some love today. What time is it? Baby, you about ready? Or no? You need more time? Because I'm still alive, that's what I was asking. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 on the clock right now. A few more minutes?
Yeah, I guess okay. I'm just looking.
Just let me know. Just let me know. Okay, so today's house chores is bedroom and monthly. I know for my own sanity, I need to get my room clean because, oh my God, there's just too much stuff everywhere. And I mean, this is nothing compared to what I used to have. For those of you who want to spend $1,000 on my storage building to buy all my shit back, have fun. But I did. I lost all of my stuff, and they want like probably over $1,000 now to get it back. So it was literally everything I had for the past 20, 30 years of my life in one thing, and it got gone. So it's my own fault. I let it go too far, but I was able to get the kids' stuff out, and that's all that mattered. I wanted them to have their stuff. I probably should have gotten my stuff out that day, but I didn't have the ability to bring it here because it's a lot of stuff. So I had a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house and 6 kids and, 3 long-term relationships in that house. So, or 2 long-term relationships in that house. And, so, I mean, it was a lot of stuff. And then people leaving stuff there, over the years and stuff like that. So, and I'm the type of person I don't get rid of anything unless it's absolutely trashed. So yeah. Anyway. And then like the cousins, the cousins would come over and leave stuff, and my family would come over and leave stuff or something, It's an accumulation of things. But I did have my island and my hutch. Well, my hutch is at my mom's, I'm sorry. My son was able to get a bunch of stuff out, but unfortunately it's sitting on the ground outside, and you know how it happens with wood. So anyway, so have you guys experienced loss? I know a lot of you guys that watch my TikToks are my age and older, so I know that you guys had to experience loss at some time, especially your things. For those of you who have had a stable life and have been in the same house all your life, what was that like? Because I haven't. Jeff and I talk about this all the time, like how different we grew up. Like, we are like polar opposites when it comes to life. And it's absolutely crazy. My life was chaos compared to his. So, and you do meet people like that. You meet people who were raised differently, that they have different thought processes than you. Maybe they have different patterns than you do. Maybe they see things at different priority levels than you do. Maybe they have traumas from the past, like myself. I know Jeff deals with this on a daily basis. For me is, I have traumas from the past that I'm still dealing with and still learning how to cope with. And it affects our relationship because of the fact that it's like a stressor. It's not just a stressor for him, but it's a stressor for me too, because I'm the one that's dealing with it, right? And he's the one that has to deal with it secondhand. So when you meet somebody, no, they're not going to be perfect. There's no person on this planet that's perfect. And if they seem like they are, they're probably hiding a lot of shit. So, I could be wrong. There may be somebody out there that's perfect for you. I know that there are certain aspects of each one of us that is, varied in different levels. And understanding of the world around us, as well as, our own internal worlds, is different for everybody. And that's why I always told the kids is like, everybody's different, and that's okay. That's what makes the world worth living in. So, keep being your quirky, weird little self. And, I enjoy that. I want to see more of that. So, yeah. So today's, like I said, bedroom, just basically like cleaning, finish cleaning.
I'm using the bathroom.
Okay. Background ASMR waterfall noises brought to you by the one and only Jeff. Territory Thursday, garden plant. I do need to weed. I did fertilize already. Weed, harvest. Can you close the door?
What?
Close the door.
I can't hear you.
Close the door.
I did have the door closed.
Oh, never mind. Never mind. Okay, so sciences today. Let's see what we got in sciences today. Today in science. Today in science history. Never mind. That's not it. Where is it? Perpetual motion. Okay. Hold on, I'm trying to... Okay, so I'm looking up today in science, and people and events of today. July 31st. Hold on, let me scroll down. I'll say so births, deaths. Okay, here's the events. Science events of July 31st, 2003, Felix Baumgartner became the first man to cross the English Channel by unpowered flight. In 1990, experiments in gene therapy by insertion of new genes into body cells were approved for the first time by Recombinant DNA Advisory Committee of the National Institute of Health. 1971, Dave Scott... In 1971, Dave Scott became the first person to drive a vehicle on the moon. The battery-powered lunar rover, LRV, is part of the Apollo 15 mission into the mountainous Hadley Apennine region. In 1965, the last cigarette commercial appeared on British television. In 1964, the American space probe Ranger 7 transmitted the first close-up images of the moon's surface ever taken by a U.S. spacecraft, beginning the mapping of the surface in preparation for future lunar landing. This was in the 60s. Why have we not gone back? 1954, a 6-year research program found at Los Angeles smog was caused by chemical reaction of sunlight on auto and industrial emissions. The first eye-irritating smog in Los Angeles on 26th of July 1943 was a gas attack of haze, smoke, and exhaust that reduced visibility to under 3 blocks. Wow. They experienced a killer Great Smog on December 5th, 1952, which resulted in the Clean Air Act of 1956. Y'all think it's crazy now. Could you imagine what it would have been if it would have continued? In 1910, Ender, I'm just going to call him that, was apprehended after the first use of Marconi telegraph signals in a ending case. American-born Dr. Holly Crippen and his mistress Ethel Leneve, disguised as a boy, were arrested for the ending of his wife in England. Her remains were discovered on July 13, 1910. She had been poisoned with hysocine, an extract from a deadly plant, henbane. An arrest warrant was issued, and Crippen was spotted mid-Atlantic when they sailed from Antwerp to Canada on the SS Montrose, the first ship equipped with radio telegraph. On July 22, 1910, Captain Kendall alerted London police of his strong suspicions, and Crippen was later hanged in Pentonville Prison, London. He was apprehended by radio. That's crazy. Centennial of Chemistry. In 1874, the Centennial of Chemistry in the United States was celebrated by chemists meeting at Northumberland, Pennsylvania, where Joseph Priestley was buried after spending the last years of life in America. The chemists commemorated the 100th anniversary of Priestley's discovery of the element oxygen on August 1st in 1774, regarding the most important link to the chain of events which eventually led to the overthrow of the phlogistic hypothesis. The memorial exercises were planned to include an address by Professor Joseph Henry, an essay on American contributions to chemistry by Benjamin Silliman, and a lone exposition of Priestley's apparatus, books, and manuscripts. The event was initiated by Henry Bolton. In 1850, a 65-foot-long iron railway bridge near Mast Hope, Pennsylvania collapsed as a stock train was crossing. In 1849, Benjamin Chambers was issued U.S. patent for the breech-loading cannon. An advantage breech-loading cannon was to speed up the reloading process, allowing troops to fire more rounds per minute. Prior to this technology, troops used musket-loading guns and was to run the front of the gun to reload, wasting time and risking lives. Breech-loading guns required a mechanism able to withstand the strain of firing and still operate smoothly, quickly, and allow for the next round to be fired. This required not only a superior material but expert machining. Chambers' design used a breech piece, which sectional screws allowed for steady opening for swabbing, depositing the load, and readily closing it again. In 1970, the first U.S. patent was granted to Samuel Hopkins of Vermont for a process for making potash and pearl ashes. Potash was important as an ingredient in soap and fertilizer. The patent was granted for a term of 14 years and signed by President George Washington, who the previous month signed the U.S. first patent statute into law on the 10th of April of 1970. Hopkins did not get patent with serial number 1, as 1,000 patents were issued before the Patent Office began to number them. Congress had passed the Patent Act on the 10th of April 1970, and 2 other patents were granted that year, one for a new candle-making process and the third for flour milling machinery of Oliver Evans. The next year, 1971, Samuel Hopkins was also granted the first Canadian patent. So there you go. What happened today in history? And for experiments, I'm going to pull out the 365 book. Those of you who are still with me. So we're going to do a number generator wheel. Number generator wheel. The max is 365. And if we've already done it, then we won't do it. So, one of 365. Let's spin the wheel. What number will we get today? We got 44. Okay. Sorry, I had to give you guys a little bit of excitement there and all my boring science stuff. So, all right. So number 44. I don't think we've done this one before. Oh. Okay. Meteorites and craters. The size, angle, and speed of a meteorite's impact affects the properties of its crater. Materials: 2 shallow basins, cat litter boxes will work, ruler, 2 bags of plain flour, a pencil, a box of instant cocoa, this is getting crazy, newspaper, several pebbles, various sizes, and a chair. Fill one of the basins with flour, 2.5 to 4 centimeters, so maybe an inch or two deep. Spread the newspaper out and place the basin on top. Sprinkle a little cocoa on the surface. Pick out one of the smallest pebbles and stand on a chair and drop it. Don't throw it, just drop it. Drop the pebble into the basin, okay? Observe how it landed and try to predict the appearance of a crater formed by a larger pebble, dropped from the same height, okay? Repeat this 3 times step 3 with a medium-sized pebble. What's the difference? Okay, so first you drop the small one, then you drop the medium one, and then you do it again with a large one, and this time you can vary the height, okay? So you can make it lower or higher depending on whatever, because this is going to be the bigger rock. Smooth the flour and sprinkle more cocoa and try again, varying the force, size, and angle, like you can toss it to the side too, of your meteorite. Did you know that all craters that we have seen on the moon and Earth are pretty much circular? And the reason is that an explosion occurs on the impact, and forces initiated with the explosion are always spherically symmetrically. So there you go. There's your experiment for today. Go kick rocks. So yeah. Okay, so experiment. Meteorite. Page 44. Sciences Today. Today is a gym day. Last time I went to the gym, I treadmilled for 45 minutes. So, but I lost the most calories doing that. So I think I'll do that again today. So more time on the treadmill. And my focus now is not so much my legs and my arms. My focus, yes, underneath here is right here and right on the sides, but most of it's my stomach. My stomach, I absolutely hate my stomach. I hate my stomach. Nothing but scars and bad decisions. So, so yeah, treadmill, more water. I have been really failing horribly at this whole sugar thing. Less sugar and less carbs. I've been failing. More water. I'm at 217 today, which is up from last time. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. If I can get under 200, I'll be happy and just keep it there. 198 for the rest of my life, I'll be happy. Thrifting. Here lately, we haven't really been thrifting, but the other day I did. And when I did, I found that clay. So kudos to me. So 0 in that. Supper tonight. I did not make a meal plan Tuesday, so I am SOL on supper, but I do need to do that today. How about we just walk through it real quick? So I do have to do something with the chicken. I know that. So chicken, salad, potatoes. Fuck it. I gotta use up those potatoes. Sweet potatoes. Because Jeff likes sweet potatoes. I do too. Clean up. I did a lot of that yesterday. I did a deep clean of the kitchen and the bedroom area, at least my side. So I do need to sweep because I had cleaned off counters, but I didn't sweep them up yesterday, so I'll sweep them up today. Nightly routine, shave and scrub. I already did that, but I did get a brand new body scrub, y'all. Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just got caught up with you.
I just need you. I was actually gonna grab it too. It's an apple caramel body scrub, and it's from Dove. It smells awesome. Anyway, so yeah, apple caramel. The last one that I had was like a coconut, and that one was awesome too. Power down. I actually made a new location for my charging station, so I'm super proud of that. It's only been a year. I keep getting on myself about this. Side table with lotion. So yeah. Monthly chore. I don't have that listed right now. I did have the vintage housewife routine saved, but I think it's on my old computer. So I'll have to print that out for you guys or upload it to Canva. It will not be my own original design, so I might have to switch it up a little bit. But the baseline of it's the same. So whatever you guys haven't done any maintenance to lately and you kind of know for a fact that it needs to be maintenance, I would look at that today. Also, don't forget to switch loads because we all forget. I know I need to. We did end up running back into another freaking issue with this pipe coming from the washing machine. And it's driving me absolutely crazy. It'll be totally fine for a month. And then all of a sudden I'll wash something and it'll just pour everywhere. Aggravating. Anyway, so, and then after that, I'll be totally fine again, like nothing ever happened. It's just like that was those retrograde FUs. You know what I mean? Which retrograde goes until I think August 11th. I'm not sure exact. When does retrograde end? Oh, never mind. Hold up. July 17th to August 10th. And then again from November 9th to the 29th. Y'all, Thanksgiving is going to be wild. Retrograde Thanksgiving. Y'all, good luck. It'll start a shadow period of adjustment for a couple of weeks as it moves out, by the way. So you'll have a shadowing in and then, a shadowing out kind of vibe. So Gemini and Virgo, I think, are the ones that end up getting hit the most. What to not do during Mercury retrograde. Any making of major decisions, signing contracts, launching new projects, engaging in significant communication like public speaking or media campaigns. But not everybody believes that. So it does say, when you go into retrograde, just remember that things from your past come back to remind you of whether or not you want to continue with it going forward. Like, for example, your exes. Don't be surprised if over the next couple of weeks your exes come back begging or actually causing more chaos in your life. It doesn't last, though, and it won't be successful because of the fact that it's during a retrograde. So anything done negatively during retrograde is going to have major consequences. Technology and communication can get disrupted, putting a damper on everyone's mood and increasing negative emotions such as anger, anxiety, resentment, and sadness. How can you stop it from happening? Like I said, practicing that pause, collecting your words before you speak, letting others speak more than you normally would. You can give the answer of, That's what I do. If you hear me say that a lot, it's just because I have a response, but I don't really have an answer for you, and I don't know how to add to this conversation. So I want you to know that I'm listening and I'm following along, but I don't have a response for you. So my answer is usually, And that's what you guys need to do for a little while. You need to just kind of sit back and go, and listen and filter the information that's coming to you from the outside world. Like, say, for example, if it's your job, and there are like a bunch of people coming towards you, asking you to do all their work or whatever, or it's the end of the month. So maybe your manager's going to come to you today and be like, well, you have to have all this done. You know what I mean? Anything that you do, especially in contracts today or over the next 2 weeks, there's a possibility of it coming back negatively on you. So be aware of that. Don't get me wrong. If you have to, you have to. But just be aware that whatever it is that you're agreeing to, or whatever it is that you're, oh, thanks for sending the spicy mac. That was cool. Thank you guys. So anything that you do right now, there's a high possibility of it like coming back on you negatively. So let other people speak, collect your words, connect with nature as much as possible. If you're doing anything kind of contract work, make sure that the details are correct, because that's where the trip up is going to be. It's going to be, there's so much chaos going on around you that you're going to bypass and not pay attention to certain aspects of your life. And it's going to hit you like an asteroid coming out of nowhere. Right. So don't be surprised if during the next 2-3 weeks that you start to experience like people call it like bad luck, or like a consecutive amount of things happening wrong. Even if it's like little inconveniences, right? Like say, for example, the other day I stubbed my toe on my freaking mirror and it blackened my toenail. So like, that's a perfect example. Losing items, like misplacing items, miscommunication, missing papers. Like all of a sudden something will just end up not where it's supposed to be or something like that. The truth will come out, by the way. A lot of truths are going to come out. And so be aware that like things that you've done in the past that you thought you got away with coming back up again. Fair warning. So yeah. So that's what you guys get to look forward to for the next 2 weeks. Those of you... You can manifest abundance during a retrograde. But like I said, just remember, abundance comes in positive and negative. So if you're manifesting abundance, like a lot of you guys right now, there's a high possibility of you becoming viral. Just be aware that virality might be in a negative aspect. Like you may be looked at negatively a lot from this. Okay, so... you're going to get a lot of people looking down on you. Remember I showed you that card with the arrow being pulled back? They may not see what you see, which is a high possibility because your path is your own. So like I said, miscommunication, people looking at you, questioning you, questioning your motives, questioning your intentions, or you may be questioning other people's intentions. There's just like a lot more awareness of things around you, or vice versa, a blindfold that's being put up on you that is now being turned to the side, so this way you can get more of a peripheral vision of the bigger picture, right? Which is right now, it's kind of like this. So you're in the process of widening it, right? Like as of today, you're in the process of widening and taking that pause and taking a step back and like, okay, my view was like this before, and now it needs to be like this. And now it needs to be like that. And now I need to take a step back further, and it needs to be like that. See what I'm saying? So your 6-foot bubble of your arms all the way around you, I know you may not be 6 foot tall, but whatever your arm length is, right? Or specific vicinity of around you, make it small. So this way the people, places, and things that you have within that space are exactly what you want in your life. Okay? Anything that's outside of that 6-foot bubble, or outside of your home, outside of your personal surroundings, right? Because we've all kind of like since COVID been forced into this whole like 6-foot bubble. Utilize that in a way that's best for you. Okay? So like information that comes in, if somebody comes at you crooked, they may have a reason for it, but the way that they're coming at you is wrong. So you have to correct the action, continue the conversation, but change that vibe before it comes to you. See what I'm saying? Like, I'm not allowing your negativity to come within a certain range of me because it's going to infect me. It's going to infect my soul and my being, my day and my mood and everything. Nah. It's time for you to start saying no. And you're going to end up saying no to somebody, and it's going to knock them for a loop. They're going to be like, what did you just say to me? Kind of thing. But stand your ground. Stand your ground. Trust me, it'll be worth it in the long run. So, good luck. Like I said today, right now is a time for reflection. Taking that moment of pause and evaluating your smoke stream. So, hold on, let me see if I can pull up that. Sorry, I didn't mean to dump that laptop in your face. Do y'all like my stickers? I actually used to work for Flow Automotive, and one of their customers gave me that sticker. Their motto is "Go with the flow." So yeah. Oh, this is dead. What? Where's my power cord? How dare you? I'm offended. Can you see it? Offended. Oh, how dare you? I forgot it in the other room. Alright, so maybe not. Alright, I will upload the... You add that to here. Upload... the monthly house chore. So vintage housewife. That's what it's called. Housewife schedule. It's literally from the 50s, but it's useful today, so whatever. Okay. So there's that. Keep an eye on my social media for more postings. And I think for right now, that should be good. I think I've been live for like 2 hours now. So thank you for your likes, guys. And thank you for your follows. I need as many followers as possible. I'm trying to monetize. You have a simple modeling opportunity with a jewelry brand that might interest me. That's awesome. And that's another thing, like, you know, we constantly get these bots, right? And we never really know if it's like a legit deal or not. You know, like for me, I would just as soon block somebody that's trying to offer me an opportunity because I think they're a bot. So for those of you who are getting offers, you will get an offer for something soon like that. But just keep an eye out. And like I said, the first offer is usually the false one. So if you get an offer for something, like give it a couple days. If they don't give you a couple of days to make a decision on it, perfect example, contract work for today. Today is the end of the month. So everybody who does contract work that gets commission off of it is going to want to finalize all those contracts for this month's payout, right? But a good salesperson, male, female, doesn't matter, whatever you identify as, if you really want that contract, you're not going to care if it's being written this month. You're going to want that person to take the time to really look it over so this way they can make the decision and that way they can stay long term, right? Now, a lot of you guys go for that whole instant gratification thing, but it doesn't last. It's instant. So yeah, you might get that contract for this month, but by the middle of next month, it'll be canceled. You want something that lasts a while. Those of you who are doing end of month, I totally feel you. I get it. Numbers, right? Especially corporate. But if anybody offers you a contract or an agreement to something, ask for 3 days to think about it. If you are a contract person, allow 3 days for someone to think about it, especially over the weekend, or, you know, we'll come back to this in a couple of days. Maybe if it's Monday, maybe we'll come back to it Thursday so we can finish it out for the, you know, for the weekend or whatever and be done with it. But a really good salesperson or any kind of contract with business is going to allow you time. If they do not allow you time, then there's something wrong with the contract. That they're forcing that quickness so this way you bypass something. That way you overlook something that benefits them. Okay? So be wary of that. As well as like anything that's rushed right now, just really force that pause. And I know that the universe is going to like really put that pressure on you, but that's the whole point in you being this gem that you are. You know, you're supposed to have that pressure on you so that way you can shine brighter than anything else, right? So keep being your wonderful, multidimensional, multifaceted self. And those who understand will come to you. Your vibe, your tribe will come to you. And just keep being authentic as much as possible. And that'll change over time. So don't think that the way that you were is the way that you are and the way you'll always be. You'll change over time. We all do. So I hope you'll have a wonderful day. And until I see you again, behave. And experiment today. Try something new. And if you have to, just go to the park and walk around or something. Give yourself some time to really appreciate the fact that you're alive and that you're a human being on this earth, and you're meant to enjoy it. You're not meant to live life miserable all the time. Okay? So try to interject some positive things in your life today, even if it's something small. Okay? It's cherries are the pitch of life, right? But, all right, well, I hope you have a wonderful day, and until I see you again, behave. As soon as it works. It's not working. Is it still live? I'm confused now. Why is this not working? I'm confused now. Why is this not working? I'm confused now. Why is this not working?